Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Keegan Kerber, and I'm going to be your shaman and your healer this afternoon. If you Google my professional name, Kirk Kerber, let me turn this off. My professional name, Kirk Kerber, you'll find that I have over 200 hours of free metaphysical, energetic, mystical, magical, and spiritual content online throughout the web at Internet Archive, Daily Motion, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is May 1st, 2020, and the world is in the middle of a worldwide chaos. The world's kind of been turned upside down and through a worldwide pandemic, and today I'm here to talk to you about what we can do and what we're learning. I have studied metaphysics, energetic metaphysics. I'm an energy reader, a psychic and spiritual medium, and I've also studied all esoteric texts. I'm a Taoist, student of Taoism, and I also see personal clients online for your dedicated to your expanding spiritual awakening. It wasn't particularly the job I signed up for, but it was the job I got. So everybody's got their part to play, and this is mine. I'm here to help you. I'm here to freely pass on the knowledge that I've learned and how to be comfortable in this reality and in a body. And, I'm a PTSD survivor. I have complex PTSD, and I've been in drug and alcohol recovery over 30 years across different fellowships and different issues. So the first thing we're going to do today is, if you're watching this video, it's more than likely that you've been for the last 6 to 7 weeks in a state of not knowing, a state of fear, a state of panic, a state of chaos. I'm in New York City, and we are basically a shelter in place. We're homebound, and the social distancing, the wearing of masks, the chaos and confusion. We can't seem to get any valid information about what's happening. There's a virus out there. People are dying at an exponential rate. And how do you get comfortable and reset and recalibrate to this new normal so far? And, what's going to happen? Our bills aren't being paid. The money's not coming in. Everything's tightening up. And, basically society and culture around the world has slowly ground to a halt. So how do you, if you don't have a spiritual foundation, now would be a great time. Can't go outside, now it's time to go within. So what you need to do is, instead of starting the day and jumping out of bed in panic and fear and what's going to happen, your aura is tightening up, you're in a state of complete panic and terror and survival. And I just want to talk to you today and tell you what I'm doing. And, I spent a couple weeks in the ether. You can, it's very easy to just wake up and, now we don't have our routines. We don't have our morning grounding things. The normal checks and balances that were in place. In my case, I had a boxing coach. I went to a boxing gym. I also went to a regular gym. I was taking dancing classes for movement, and seeing a host of clients, which I'm still open to seeing, and still seeing a few clients. I'm open to new clients. And then it was a day, and you had your schedule, and there was a coherent beginning, middle, and end. I had my drug and alcohol recovery, and I was also in conventional therapy and speaking to my advisors on a daily basis to keep my stuff clean. And I was also doing my TV show. I produce a television show weekly, which you can watch, and I also do regression therapy for past life, pre-life, and as well as walking my clients out of trauma, doing soul retrievals, spirit mending, and so that whole thing was just like, okay, what are we going to do now? I mean, the first couple of weeks I just sat around and kind of watched, like, I just don't believe my eyes. And you don't know what to believe. There's chaos, there's confusion. So, Keegan, Kerber, I'm right in the middle of a rebirth, and I'm switching over to legally change my name to Sean Keegan Kerber, even though professionally I will stay as Kirk Kerber. I feel like I'm a new soul. And interestingly enough, in the last 6 months, I was rebirthing. So out of my chaos came a new order. Not to feed the conspiracy theorists, but I was in the middle of rebirthing, and then this worldwide chaos began. And so let's get to the point. Kirk, Keegan, Kerber, how can you help me? Why am I watching this video? What should I do? Well, I think the first thing is, number one, you have to filter what's going in right now. And, it's entirely possible, one day you can watch the news, or maybe 20 minutes you can watch the news. But maybe, you can take another day, the next day, to be like, okay, I'm going to try and keep my routine just as normal as possible. If I make breakfast for the kids, I'm going to do that. If I, listen to an audiobook for an hour, I'm going to do that. If I prayed and meditated. And for those of you that have your spiritual foundation, now is not the time to throw it out the window. Now is the time to just come back to the practice, come back to the breath. As a collective soul, or as an individual soul, I do know that things present themselves when we're ready to understand the lesson, get the lesson, and then accrue the wisdom from the lesson. So, for instance, say your issue's codependency, if you, or alcoholism, whatever the issue is, maybe you're self-destructive with your thoughts. Maybe you live in a constant state of panic and survival and chaos and scarcity. Whatever your issue is, until it presents itself and you can get the light of clarity, and this is a big plug to have advisors. You should be talking and having at least 3 to 5 advisors around you at all times. Maybe you'll watch some YouTube videos. Yeah, maybe you'll read some books. Maybe you'll pray and meditate with Oprah and Deepak. But at the same time, you need to talk to somebody that's a neutral party that knows your history, whether that's an advisor like myself, a priest or a religious person, and also maybe a conventional therapist, or maybe somebody that you designate as a wise person. If you don't do that, your mind, your thoughts, they get stale, they get toxic, and then you get kind of lost in your head and you can't get out. And so to just talk and let the words go through the body with the feelings, with an advisor, and a trusted advisor will give you mirroring and feedback, and then, valid things to say. A new perspective. Have you thought of this? It sounds like you're feeling this. Now, back to the original point of the lesson presents itself. We can't really think or work our way out of a lot of things alone. And so that brings me to the main point of what's happening in the world, is that I believe the lesson of the virus. And, there were a lot of mediums on Facebook and online. The virus is talking to me. This is what the virus says, or this is what this time means. And to tell you the honest to God's truth, I'm very cautious. And people ask me, I've been channeling my entire life. I was born a natural psychic medium, and I became a spiritual advisor through studying prayer, meditation, cleansing and clearing my mind, body, and aura and spirit energetically. And I've been doing that now for 40 years. So I've had five near-death experiences and three major breakdowns and rebirths and transformations. So here's what I can offer you is on an individual level, like I said, whatever your issue is. First, the the universe or God or goddess, your spirit animals, your angels, they present like, here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. Where's the resistance? Where's the scarcity? Where's the chaos that needs to be grounded? And, a lot of people will just go their entire life and not find the clarity. And it's just some vague underbeing, hiding. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to be. And for whatever reason, they just never get connected to themselves, to their family. And they, stay in this darkness and destruction. And they don't get the light of clarity. So number one, the first lesson is we need to get the clarity. And, our media is a pornographic feeding frenzy of innuendo and personal commentary. And, you don't know which channel has which political slant, and you don't know what to believe. You really don't. So, number one, the lesson is you need to filter, you need to recalibrate. And you need to now align with what's happening now. Instead of resisting, you're just, all right, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is what we have. So I really suggest shutting off the media for a day or every third or fourth day. And you just take a moment to breathe. We're still here. I'm still alive. I've actually lost a few people to the coronavirus already. And so we're also in a deep grief, a deep chaos. But the lesson is to just allow the flowing of your energy to come back to you. Allow yourself to breathe, get your breath back. Many of you have families and kids and bills and businesses and employees. And it's anybody's guess. So number one, we just have to try and find this clarity. And so at the beginning of the virus and everything, all these mediums and people came online, not to disdain anybody, but they just were like really like trying to grab what is going on psychically, energetically. What can I tell my people? And I couldn't find the clarity, even though I've spent my whole life getting the clarity energetically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, physically, in the material world. The clear mind is the powerful mind. If you don't hear anything else that I've said from this video, I got 5 minutes left. The clear mind is the powerful mind. So we need to clear. So having said that, I do have some sage, and I'm going to, just do like a light clearing for you. Hopefully I won't burn myself on the camera, which, I have a lot of time logged in, clearing my clients. My homework, so to speak, is a little harder because I'm also connected to my clients. So I'm not only managing myself, and keeping my mind and body clear, I'm also have a dog, and I have a connection to her, and she is, she has her own ideas and her own addictions and dysfunctions